The Glenarama tapes is a story that involves these, I guess, film students at an art college. Really, one of them is pursuing this film. He's doing a documentary on his fellow classmate, and we get a lot of his story, of course. I guess his parents are divorced. He's really the one taking care of his little sister. His mother's a hopeless drunk who openly flirts with the cameraman, much to the son's chagrin. There's two other girls. One of them in particular is interested in the main guy here, who's the subject of the documentary and all that. So, okay. And he's in trouble and whatnot. He gets in a fight, punches another kid, and all this type of stuff. Might be getting expelled from the college. But they managed to catch footage and hear what appears to be two of their professors admitting they're involved in an affair with each other. And I think the man is married or what have you. And that's what they get from it, and that they're going to go away for a little get-together into this forest. Now, the forest itself has this legend. It's like, oh, it's spooky and haunted. There was some guy who wants revenge after getting half his face blown off or something like that, you know. But the four of them team up to go and see if they can catch the two professors in the act and possibly blackmail them for what they have. Even though what they already have is probably good enough, so they didn't have to bother. But anyway, off they go. And for a while, they almost give up because it's really cold and they're stuck in the woods and they kind of get lost. Typical found footage stuff. But, to be fair, this is bookended by local news media coverage of something happened. These people went into the woods and all but one has been found. That kind of thing. So and then you see the footage. Well, what's there? And the film presents you the raw footage that was shot as this guy's trying to make his film and everything. So what they come upon is it's not a romantic get-together or anything. They're members of some weird cult who hunt people. And there's some guy they bring out shirtless, and their professor, the male professor, is tied up to a tree, and the female professor appears to be like, I don't know, the queen chiefess of the group. They're all in these medieval-looking outfits and stuff, and they're hunting prey. I guess I don't know, just maybe some homeless guy they abducted or whatever, and one of their ritualistic guys stabs him in the back so that, he's bleeding, you'll be able to track him. And then they send him off to go try to escape into the woods. And the hunt is on. And they're like, what the hell is this, you know? So as the hunt is going, they're still trying to get out. They're like, we've got enough here. Let's go. And they can't find their way out. And then they come across the hunters, and it's a fight for their survival and whatnot. And one of the girls is killed. And as they go, quite a few of them. One is severely wounded, but she manages to survive. The main guy, who's the biggest and toughest of the group, the other guy gets abducted by this masked man who brings him back into their little cabin or whatever and tortures him. And then the other dude comes to save him, and they end up killing the professor, the female one, and the rest of the hunters are killed as well. There is one left. That's right, because afterwards, it doesn't look good, and everyone's dead. It appears, but the girl who had been wounded earlier, they thought she was dead, but she wasn't. She was rescued and brought to the hospital, and has been trying to get help and further investigation in this. Most of the police have ruled it a hoax. which is a bit odd since she's the only one left and she was wounded and everything. And she follows around the I guess the chief inspector or whatever he is, and eventually they discover that he was a member of the cult, and her boyfriend is not dead but was held prisoner for, I don't know, a year later after this, or several months anyway, and he's found in the guy's basement and they release him. And so he and her are together, and they ended on that note in that he, I guess, has custody of his sister, I believe, too. But anyway, and she's talking about she put together the film. And the reason I got to explain this is because one of the things you absolutely cannot do in a found footage film is you can have a theme song, I suppose, at the open. You can have people playing music, but you can't have music in it. Who's going to do that? Now, if it's a faux documentary and the editors decided, hey, let's put some music to this scene. But if you're looking at what is purported to be the realistic final hours of real people, I just don't think you would do that. And the idea of the found footage is this is it. This is the raw footage of what happened, or what's left. And but one of the girls there does music, and they play her song, or maybe it was the other guy. I can't remember. But anyway, no, I think it was the girl. And you know, they liked it or whatever. So it's played over some of the scenes, so you get the idea that the surviving girlfriend, she put it in there. But then, you know, this other music in it and stuff, and I'm like, I just don't think you would do that. I mean, this is maybe when they're the little video of when they're hanging out and they're joking around and all that stuff, because it's their last time together, and she puts her friend's music over it and that kind of stuff, I guess. But for the rest of it, when they're being hunted by these assholes, I just don't think so. So it's a certain thing that's certainly unique to found footage, that if you just put in a song or sinister music, even like, uh-oh, you know, if they hear the monster, or if they hear something and they know something's afoot, or they hear someone screaming in the distance, and now you know there's something wrong and all that, you don't need to put in the typical sound, you know, or something of that nature. Whereas a traditional horror movie, yeah, I guess so. But when it's supposed to be this, you know, reality-based thing, there is no soundtrack. You know, there's sound effects, you know, your monster, your killer, whatever it is. Or, you know, hearing another victim die or what have you, and now you realize you're in trouble and that sort of thing. But not music for the mood. All you can have is the environment and your cast and that sort of thing. And so it's a way, it's a certain element that is rather unique to found footage, and that's something that can kick you out of the film. The rest of it, the main criteria, is it believable? They'd keep the film, the camera going. For the most part, yes, because that's what they do. They're students in it, and ultimately, when you're on the run and stuff, a lot of the footage, you can understand why you don't see a lot of it when it gets shaky or it's hitting the ground or stuff like that. Well, that's what would happen. But to keep it going, it comes into play when it's dark, it's at night, and you need it so you can see, you know. And so that's the deal. So they met that one. It was a good effort, I suppose. Some of the things of it, of the surprise of what the, you know, they thought they would get the drop on their professors, and it's, what the hell is this, you know? So, you know, there's certain elements to it that kind of panned out all right. But, I don't know. Didn't really hold my interest to the end. And for the most part, the music kind of kicked me out of the scenes. So, you know, even with the scenario that it's important to them, and you know, and all that, I don't know. I just, maybe like a separate thing they would have done this, but in the film here, when they're trying to tell the story of what happened, even though at the end they find the cult or whatever is exposed, and here's this guy who's high ranking within the police department, and he was one of them, and that sort of thing, and they have their victory in that, so there's justice for their friends who died, but I don't know, it's hard. I mean, they do, I guess the more I think about it, yeah, the element is there, it's just the music's rather sappy and stuff. And it's playing out, but in its total capacity, they have the ending happy scene at the end, and she does explain that I'm going to put the music into it. But I guess I just didn't really like the song as much as they did. But as far as the legend and whatnot, I didn't see it as connecting as much to it, and not entirely certain what the cult was about. And all that, but so I don't know that there was an entire cohesive narrative. For the most part, they literally just stumbled into this when they were trying to, get naughty videos of their professors who were cheating on their spouses and all that. So anyway, that's the tapes, or the Glenarama tapes.